recently I've been doing some introspection on like why I really started a business when I was 17. I was in high school and I started a video production business, and it wasn't something I had a lot of intention about, to be completely honest. I kind of just started it, did it, made videos, made music videos, and was just having fun. But the more I've looked back on it, the question that I've asked myself lately is like, why do I try so hard? Like, why do I care so much? And originally, it stems from something. And I really dove into that recently, and I realized the truth is the reason why I started my business and the reason why I've tried so hard to make it work is because I was and am horribly insecure. This strong feeling of just never being enough has led to this. And that was the reason why I started it. Subconsciously, I never knew until recently, but I've always felt so small. Physically, I was a scrawny kid, so I felt small because I literally was, but always felt so insignificant. When it comes to socially being around people, when it came to, my body, when it came to just my own achievement, like I felt so small. And when I finally found something that worked for me, I wanted to show everybody like, hey, look, I am something, and that pushed me in a lot of like dark directions, to be completely honest, because the intention is like your fuel, right? And it started off very impure. I want to make it very clear that the reason I started my business was because I was horribly insecure and I had something to prove. I wanted to prove to my parents, I wanted to prove to my friends, I wanted to prove to the people I, grew up around that I was something, right? And these fuel sources, they don't really work that well. Actually, they work extremely well, but not for very long. I basically built my business for the first year or two off of pure spite. And spite burns hot and it burns fast, but once it's gone, it leaves you pretty high and dry. And, to be honest, it really did serve me well. I grew up being told that, what I was doing, I was told by my own family that what I was doing was just a hobby. It wasn't going to go anywhere, that I should probably look at getting a real job and all these other things. And, I just wanted so bad to prove to them that like this is going to work. And it did. And it did work. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 19 from Wichita, Kansas. I went out there, lived on video, only video production. I bought myself a Red camera, which if you don't know anything about cameras, it was like $30,000 at the age of 18, mind you. And I did the thing. I did the music videos, did the productions, did all the stuff, and I did the thing. But once I got out there, I was like, I did it, right? Like I moved out there, I did all the things, and people stopped doubting me. People stopped saying, oh yeah, this isn't a real thing. They had no choice. I gave them no choice to doubt me anymore. And then where did my fuel source go? It was gone. So all this is to say, your fuel source is extremely important. Your why behind what you're doing is extremely important. And for me, it's changed now. Now, do I think that the insecurity that I had when I was young is completely gone? Absolutely not. I think that I'm still far too young to be completely away from that, to still feel like I have something to prove. But my fuel source has definitely changed. I was talking to a friend of mine, if you want to call him that, and I was talking to a friend of mine about why. Like, why do I do this? Because he asked me, he's like, why do you want to make so much money? Why do you want to go so far with this? And, I thought about it. It's something I've thought about a lot, but, explaining it to him, it made it so clear to me. It's like, this isn't about me anymore. It's just not. It's not about me anymore. It's about, for one, setting the example of what's possible when you really put your mind to something. Not stopping at level 1, but going to the top of the top to see what I'm really made of, but to set an example for the people around me, but more importantly for the future, for my family that I will have in the future. to show my kids what is possible to become when you really put your head down and really go for something. And the money aspect, I live extremely frugally. Like, if you actually know me, I barely pay myself anything. Like, my business makes 10 times what I pay myself. And I don't do anything with that money. Like, I'm not here to live the flashiest lifestyle. I'm not trying to make the most money so I can go blow money. It's so that way, when it is time for me to have kids and me to be a father, that I'm actually present, because I'm not strapped for money. And so I can teach them how money actually works. Because if you haven't realized it by now, it depends on where you're at in your life. What they've taught us about money is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I literally, last year, 2022, my income went up by 10x in 1 month by simply changing the way my mind and the way I understood money. So all this is to say, the why behind what you're doing is extremely important. And for me, I want to set an example. I want to show people what's possible. In the end of the day, I've been fortunate enough to have a very long journey to get where I want to be. It's been a lot longer than I thought it would be. You know, when I was 21, 20 years, I was probably 19 or 20. I don't even remember, to be honest. I was in the music management space, working on some big contracts, doing a bunch of exciting things. And I was convinced that I was going to be a millionaire by the time I was 21. Here I am, 25, and I'm still not there. But, you know, I'm thankful for that, actually, because that person, that 21-year-old version of me, would have not only blown all the money like an idiot, he wouldn't have had the character development to be able to handle the money, and more importantly, rather the character that should have been built from the money anyway. It's not about the money. It's about the person you become along the way. The money is a byproduct of value you provide to the world. Money is a byproduct of the things that you give to others. Because I realized, I don't know why this never clicked with me earlier, and I hope this is something that's like eye-opening to you. For a person to be a multimillionaire, let's say they make 10, 20, $30 million a year, for someone to be that, think about the amount of value they have to provide to the world. Yes, there are scammers and people who make money elsewhere, but like I'm talking about people who really earn their money. A person like that has to have so much value they're putting out into the world. They have to be giving so much to be receiving that much. They have to be giving more than they're actually receiving. And that's what I want. And that's what I want to become. And that's the example that I want to set. And that's why I do it now. And it's not as, it's not as hot of a fuel source as spite, but it burns slow and it burns consistent. And that's what you need, because this shit takes time. It takes a lot of time, and I'm realizing that now. So to be honest, yeah, I have some goals of where I want to be in certain levels of income, but the more I grow up, the more I mature, the more I realize that I don't really care that much, because I'm so aware of the fact that it will come. The money will be there. It is a byproduct naturally of the value that I'm looking to provide to the world. It will be there. More than I can ever dream of. Someday I know that money will not be a thing that I will have to worry about. It will not be a thing that I will have to think about, and that is the goal. Not to make a certain amount of money, but to not have to worry about money, to not have to use money as a crutch as to why I can't do something. I don't want to make my decisions based on money. I want my problems to be real problems, not money problems. And it's simply that. But since I know that will happen, I know I will hit that at some point. It might take 5 years, it might take 10, it might take 20, it might take 25, I don't know. But I know it will happen, so therefore I'm now, currently, in this day, not worried about money. Because I'm not going to be worried about it then, why should I be worried about it now? It'll be there. So, until then, it's more about the person that I will then create naturally. The person that will then earn the money. The person who has the abilities and the value that he can provide to the world. That's the person who will make the money. So the person is the goal, not the money. Food for thought.